When we say human potential, unleashing human potential, it is not about reaching the peak, it is a trajectory. Because what our life is a combination of a certain amount of time and energy. Time is rolling away for all of us at the same pace. If you sit, it rolls away, if you sleep, it rolls away, if you do something, it goes away, if you don't do anything, it goes away. You're happy or miserable, it goes away. Time is running out for all of us. So it's only the energy that you can do different things with. If you bring your energies to a certain level of intensity and possibility, what somebody does in 10 years, you may do it in 1 year. This means if you live here for 100 years, it feels like in people's impact that you've created, it feels like you lived here for 1,000 years, simply because you have managed your life energies in a certain way. So for me, a human being impactful means, how conscious have you become? This is very important. Because if you're in compulsive cycles, then your energy gets wasted in so many things. If you look at every single move that they make with their body, their thought process, their emotions, you will see a whole lot of it is happening in compulsive cycles. Or in other words, if you are little sensitive to life, you will realize you are the biggest issue in your life. So this is one thing that I'm trying to do with people, that you are never the issue in your life. I'm not the issue. My thought, my emotion, my body is never the issue. My thought, my emotion, my energy and my body are my instruments of function. They are not impediments in my life. But I would say for 90% of the human beings, their own body, then the compulsions of the body, the compulsions of their thought, the compulsions of their emotions are ruling them most of the time. So when you yourself are a problem, well, you're on self-help. Nobody wants to delve into the problem and see what is the nature of the problem that we have. Whatever impact or success or reaching goals or growth or whatever you say, on one level in the physical world, it's about how well you harness your physiological and your psychological process, isn't it? Whether your body and mind works against you or works for you, this is a big difference. So there is enough evidence to show only when you're in pleasant levels of experience, this happens best. So obviously, joy is first, then growth. If you're joyful constantly and you have no fear of suffering because you understand all human experience comes from within you, and so you have managed to create the kind of experience that you want, now growth is possible unbridled. If you have the fear of falling down and suffering, you will not go very high. The more conclusions you make, the less alive you become. This is all that's happened to people. They call this knowledge. This is not knowledge, this is just conclusions that you're drawing about everything. People are who they are only because of what they believe and what they have held like that, because without this, they don't know where they belong. To live here without belonging to anything, but still involved with everything, takes a lot. Most people belong, but they're not involved. It is like belonging is like an insurance policy. It's simply there. Involvement takes you. To be constantly involved with people around you, it takes you to be conscious and on. It's just your ability to respond. You have to make up your mind. Do you want to retain your ability to respond to every situation that may arise or may not arise in your life? Or do you want to surrender your ability to respond? This is something everybody should make up their mind on. Fundamentally, if people understand that the source of human experience is within you, joy or misery, agony or ecstasy, pleasure or pain, everything comes from within you. The survival process has become easier than ever before. Believe me, in the morning if you need a bucket full of water, if you had to walk a mile to the river to get one bucket of water, and your family needed 25 buckets of water, you would have no time to mess yourself. Now you have a lot of time to mess yourself because our survival is better organized than ever before. Another thing is, most human beings do not know how to manage their biochemistry without physical activity. If inspiration is what you need, encouragement was what you need, I'm willing to talk. But talks will not bring solutions. They will bring some clarity. Solution will come only when you take a proper inward step. That's what inner engineering process is. We don't have the courage to see that we don't know. What we do not know, I do not know, what's the problem? It is so straight of you, sincere of you, human of you to see I do not know, because if you see I do not know, genuinely understand, experience and realize that I do not know, your intelligence will be awake even if your body sleeps. Always on. The moment you say, I know, your intelligence sleeps, even if you're awake. So this is a fundamental tool, because the most important aspect of who you are right now as a human being, compared to every other wonderful species which are around us, millions of them, there are a heap of creatures, all right, millions of them, millions of species. You're on top of that in terms of evolutionary process. But human beings are not feeling like top of the world, simply because they don't have an active intelligence. They put it to sleep. They try to live with their memory or their imagination. Imaginations of heaven and hell, memories of past. Fear and guilt is the way to control people. Karma comes into play in your life when you understand life is not about control, life is about liberation. Any number of people coming to me and asking, Sadhguru, how to control my mind? I said, why the hell do you want to control your mind? Do you want to liberate your mind or control your mind? The problem is right now, they're having mental diarrhea. When you're having mental diarrhea, you think of control. No. Your mind, your intelligence, your faculties, who you are must be liberated. Boundaries should be broken, not set. Control means to set boundaries. To liberate means to break boundaries. See, look at yourself, whoever you are right now, whoever you may be, whatever you may be, you would like to be something more. A being does not mean that you don't have to do, or if you do, your being is not going to get corrupted. Because I'm in action, this doesn't mean my action will corrupt me. The problem is, the residual impact of the action is staying with me. This is what we are referring to as karma. Every action, when I say every action, as you sit here, your body is doing its things, your mind is doing its things, your emotions are doing their things, your energies are doing its own thing. This is true whether you're in wakefulness or in sleep, all the time. But let us take wakefulness. Let's say from the moment you woke up today morning to this moment, how much of these 4 dimensions of activity did you perform consciously? If you look at it, for almost everybody in the world, it's way below 1%. When you live accidentally, anxiety is normal. Because people are so anxious, they think their activity is a problem. In every activity, they're anxious, what will happen, what will happen? Because of this, they think activity is a problem. No, activity is not the problem, your anxiety is the problem. Anxiety has come because you're living accidentally. If you live consciously, why would you be anxious? If you live consciously, your thought and emotion would happen the way you want it. If it happened the way you want, will you create anxiety? Because all the wonderful things that a human being can be has been exported to heaven. 2 ingredients you have, time and energy. Time will run anyway, whether you like it or you don't like it. Today gets over, tomorrow happens, tomorrow gets over. It's happening to all of us. So these are the only 2 ingredients you have, time and energy. What you make out of your energy is the profoundness of your life and also the impact of your work. Make that happen for yourself. First and foremost thing is life should become profound in your experience. Then how you impact people, you don't have to worry. Whichever way you do it, it'll be for the best. But if you live on the surface and try to impact people, sometimes you will do good things, sometimes You will do terrible things to people, maybe with good intention, because most horrible things on this planet are done with best of intentions, not with bad intention.